We spent 2 years in Ontario studying a seventh of the school districts. 10 of them were the only independent study done of the Ontario reforms. All the other things about the reforms are written by their advocates. So here's a perverse and paradoxical thing. To remove the distraction of union disputes, the government gave the unions $25 million. So just want to tell you this again. In a population of 13 million people, the government gave the unions $25 million, providing the unions spent the money on professional development. That was the condition. So the government and the unions together decided to create this project that Anne Lieberman's evaluated called the Teacher Leadership and Learning Project. All these people over the last few years have gone through this project. These are the kinds of things that they focus on. They're not about incremental improvement, they're about next practice. Try out what are the next things, and then how do we spread them out and share them with colleagues in professional learning communities, differentiated instruction, technology, literacy, across all these projects, all these schools. So teachers are driving a lot of the agenda in Ontario in relation to next practice and innovation. So the 72 districts divided the money equally between them, large districts and small districts, because most of the districts are small, therefore most of the superintendents were behind the strategy. Are you with me? Like Toronto didn't like it a whole bunch at first, but they were appealed to in terms of their beneficence and generosity and adding their status and weight to what was happening. And then the 72, each district had its own strategy, providing it was connected to the philosophy. And they all had different diversities. Some were Aboriginal and Indigenous, some were new immigrants, some were Old Order Mennonites, practically Amish, some were Franco-Ontarian. Like when we talk about diversity, we have such different diversities, and you have to be able to respond to those diversities. The solution in each district varies, but then you have to network the districts together and keep circulating communication amongst them so nobody ends up in a silo. So they didn't just implement the change, but the districts drove that area of change. So what I'm trying to tell you about Ontario is, in terms of leadership, there wasn't just a group up there who decided something and then through layers everybody implemented it. But different parts of the sector were given leadership responsibilities and platforms to drive different parts of the agenda. This is a very different view of leadership. This is leadership first, not leadership after the fact. And it's one of the big things that we can learn from Ontario.